Page 75, Convertible Blues. Now we get a riff, a chordal riff, a riff of chords. Or at the beginning, they label it the riff. It's the chords. These chords, that's it. So you're just going to play these chords or similar chords a bunch. Second line, it's the same chord except now you have a D flat. Look at the third line down. Right hand, E natural. Remember, this is in the key of what? B flat? Two flats, B flat and E flat. Well, we have an E natural here, so it's here. So these are the notes. That's the chord. Here, in the next measure, the notes are here. They're seventh chords. There's a particular type of seventh. I won't get into it. They're just seventh chords. So you have here and here. It's really the same chord, two different inversions. I just pointed out the fingering is fine. I tend to finger these chords with fourth finger on the D flat on the first measure there in the third line. And then the next measure I would go a 4 on the B flat. Because that's the fingering for the chord. So that's the fingering I use. And the last measure, that line. You're coming off of an A flat, third finger, and the measure before. I would finger that chord a 1, 2, 4. It's just rather than the typical 1, 3, 5. Here, it just works. Because of the A flat, it's better to 1, 2, 4. Last line. In the improv line, starting at E natural. Hard is just these. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. You just gotta count that out very carefully. Next measure, the third measure, same thing. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Yes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a is what it is. So that counting wise. I know it's easier just to wait till I play it and then copy me, but I really wish you wouldn't do that. You'd figure this out yourself and then check it with what I'm doing and see. Now for the improv section, they're saying first you play it as written, not a problem, I hope. Then you're going to repeat it a few times. Yeah. Doesn't say how many, it's up to you. But now we're going to improvise a little bit. They're saying change the dynamics. So first time you're MF, throughout the whole line, MF. Maybe the second time you change it to a soft, or maybe a loud or soft, or the first two measures could be soft and the next two measures loud, or vice versa. It's entirely up to you how you want to change the dynamics. It doesn't matter. You change it for the whole line, or you can change the dynamics for the first two measures and then the last two measures, or whatever, however you want to do it. Then they're saying to play it again, and this time take it up an octave or whatever. So maybe the third time you play it, you, instead of here, play it up here. Or if you want, play the first two measures where it's written, and then the last two measures take it up an octave. However you want to do it. When we do the play with me, I'm going to go ahead and play this 3 times. The first time I'm going to play it as written. The second time I'm going to play it more or less as written. I'll just play it a little softer. You can change the dynamics however you want. The third time, the last 2 measures, I'm going to take up an octave. That's during the play with me, but when you play it by yourself, you can just keep repeating this and changing it each time however you want to do it. It's just the first time you play it as written. After that, you're on your own. So for the roadmap on this, you go all the way down all 4 lines, and you're going to play the last line. We're going to play the last line 3 times. And then we're going to DC al fine. We're going to DC back to the top and play the first 3 lines again. The fine is the end of the third line. Now there's a note in here where you can take pages 74 and 75 and turn them into one long piece. Play them together. So what you do is you play page 74 like it's written, and then immediately jump over to page 75. The beat keeps going. You don't hesitate or pause or nothing. The moment you finish the last measure in page 74, then you just keep right on going. So to play the last measure of the piece in 74, going into 75, it would be this. Rest. So it sounds like one long piece. Then when you get down to the bottom on the improv section on page 75, there's a note to DC back to page 74, and there you're going to play the first 2 lines of page 74 again, and then stop. If you want. I'm not going to do that in the video, but you can do that on your own. Now, this is a blues thing, so I'm going to swing the 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. Throughout this, not 16th notes, of course. 8th notes is the only thing to swing. Everything else is played as it is. Hopefully the rhythm in the left hand isn't bothering you. If it is, maybe you need to go back to book 1 on the regular and learn to count. Because they're not tricky, they're just got a lot of syncopation going on. So it's 1 and 2 and just the left hand. I'm gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 because we're swinging the 8th note. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. See, in the second measure, the quarter note comes on the end of 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Second line, left hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So work that. Now, if you're really lost, then go ahead and play the 8th notes evenly for a while till you get it. At the beginning, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Work on that. Second line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and work that out really slowly, and then just gradually speed it up. And when you get that, you can put the swing back in. So you may have to work on the rhythm, but you're going to get these a lot in blues and jazz, so it's important that you be able to get these rhythms on your own without having to listen to me or somebody else play them first. The acoustic jamming and electronic jamming stuff, you can deal with that at the bottom. Hopefully by now you understand what they're saying down there. I'm not going to bother to go over it. Hopefully you get it. As far as the piece goes, just play it at, I don't know what a moderate blues tempo is. You'll have to decide. That's just... etc. As far as the articulation goes, it's entirely up to you. They give you nothing on articulation on these things. Usually they don't, except maybe for an occasional slur or phrase. Otherwise, it's up to you. Staccatos, put them in when you want to. It's experiment. So let's try this out really slowly and just check all notes and rhythms and all that stuff in Convertible Blues. Going to give us 4 counts. It's in 4/4 time, and it is in the key of B flat major. I already said that. In case you didn't remember, like me, it's in the key of B flat major. So go ahead and put your hands where they go. Here, here. If you don't like using a little finger on the black key, then finger at 1, 2, 4. I really think it's better in this case if you'd finger at 1, 3, 5 to begin with. The only one I'd do 1, 2, 4 is the last measure of the third line. That's it. Otherwise, 1, 3, 5. Okay. 1 and 2 and ready and go and